Thanks for staying with us. Now, for the international news. It started as a demonstration against plans for a shopping mall in Gezi Park, one of Istanbul's last green spaces. But it is rapidly turning into a battle for Turkey's political soul. Turkey's police fired tear gas and water cannons as thousands of protesters flooded the streets, calling for the three-term prime minister to quit.
Secular urban Turks are resentful of Prime Minister Tayyip Erdogan's increasingly Islamic and authoritarian government. Last night, running battles continued as violence spread beyond Taksim Square and Gezi Park. Protesters lobbed tear gas back and police used force to subdue the protesters. Some 60 people were arrested. This morning, a huge crowd marched along the Bosphorus Bridge towards Taksim Square. But they too were met with water cannon and tear gas. Erdogan acknowledges that police had used excessive force against the protesters, implying that the security forces have gone too far.
Despite provocations by illegal organizations, despite the damage done to local shops, despite attacks with stones and petrol bombs, the police continues to operate with the authority it was given. But necessary steps will be taken if excessive force is used.
Another American city is terrorized by a gunman shooting rampage. At least 4 victims and a gunman are killed in the shooting rampage through Santa Monica, beginning at a burning home and ending at a local college.
According to Santa Monica police, the shooting rampage lasted more than 10 minutes. The traumatic sequence started when police and firefighters received reports of gunshots and a burning house. Firefighters arrived at the scene to discover 2 bodies inside of the charred house. A man dressed in black with a semi-automatic assault rifle fled the scene and started firing at random vehicles. Police officers drew level with the gunman near the Santa Monica College campus. There, he continued his rampage inside the college library, where students described the scene of terror, with many of them trying to hide under tables. When the police arrived at the scene, the officers and gunmen exchanged shots.
The suspect headed toward the library, shot a woman on the campus just before entering the library, accosted a number of patrons inside the library, and attempted to shoot at them. Those individuals were able to find safety in a safe location inside the library. However, he continued to shoot at them. The officers came in and directly engaged the suspect, and he was shot and killed on the scene.
The odds of winning a lottery is 1 in 175 million. But an 84-year-old woman from Florida beats the odds and wins a $590 million Powerball lottery.
Winner Gloria McKenzie claimed her prize at Florida's lottery office this morning. She was escorted by her son, Scott McKenzie, whom she will split her winnings with. When she left the lottery office, McKenzie wore dark sunglasses and linked arms with her son without saying much. She has asked for privacy and referred any further inquiries to her lawyer and her financial advisor. McKenzie bought the only $2 ticket that matched all 6 winning numbers at a Publix grocery store after previously buying 4 other tickets. Luck was on her side when a customer allowed her to jump ahead in the queue, making McKenzie the largest sole jackpot winner in US lottery history. 3 Czech companies have teamed up to make a prototype of an electric bicycle. It successfully took off inside an exhibition hall in Prague and landed safely after a remote-controlled 5-minute flight. A ceremony has been held in Dubai to mark the inauguration of what developers claim as the world's tallest twisted architectural creation. Each successive floor of the Kayan Tower rotates by 1.2 degrees to create a 90-degree twist which mimics the shape of the structure of human DNA. Australian marathon swimmer Chloe McCardle has set off on her attempt to become the first person to swim 100 miles from Cuba to the Florida Keys without the protection of a shark cage. Mimosa Haska from South Carolina has won an award for designing a wedding dress made entirely of toilet paper. The lavish gown scooped top prize at the 9th annual Cheap Chic Weddings Toilet Paper Wedding Dress Contest in New York. A new electronic ticketing system for trains has been piloted in Jakarta. It's the biggest change for the Indonesian capital's transport system in 20 years. With passenger cards, electronic gate devices, and automatic ticketing services, daily commuters hope that it will help ease congestion and speed up their journeys. Russian extreme sports star Valery Rozov has made history by plunging off Mount Everest. The base jump was from an altitude of 7,220 meters. The 48-year-old has set a new world record of the world's highest ever base jump. Meanwhile, Dorothy Custer celebrated her 102nd birthday by base jumping off the Perrin Bridge in Idaho, USA. It was not the first extreme sport she had attempted. For her previous birthday, she zip-lined for the first time. The base jump was a birthday present from her family.
Now to the sports updates. Nothing brings people together more than sports. The regional level of the annual Mahasiswa Games hosted by Tunku Abdul Rahman University College, TAR UC, had a turnout of 374 participants from 12 university colleges.
Two new sports of 10-pin bowling and tennis are introduced into this year's Mahasiswa Games. Among the 12 university colleges were TAR UC, KLMUC, Uni Razak, Uni KL, and UCSI. Organized by Majlis Sukan IPTS Malaysia, the 3-day sports event witnessed high-spirited athletic performances among the participants. The prize-giving ceremony was attended by the TAR UC principal, Datuk Dr. Tan Chee Kiok, and the chairman of Mahasiswa, Professor Dr. Kamal Nasharuddin. The champion of each of the 6 sports categories will represent their respective institute in the national level this October. In his welcoming speech, Datuk Dr. Tan Chee Kiok hopes that this sports event will produce students who not only excel academically but also in sports. He added that both leads to a holistic education.
Now, good sportsmanship through involvement in sports also develop a person's teamwork, leadership, and ethical values. Now, because the highest standard in sportsmanship which are practiced in this field will be absorbed into one's personality and become his or her code of ethics.
In local football news, Selangor FC triumphed against PKNS FC when they won 2-1. The Red Giants climbed to the second place in the Malaysian Super League standings after clinching 3 points from their victory at the Shah Alam Stadium.
In the first half, PKNS took the lead with fierce attacks. The home team got the better of Selangor when Mohammad Nizam Ayub opened the scoring with an overhead kick in the 14th minute. However, Selangor came back strong in the second half when Selangor substitute Muhammad Raimi Muhammad Noor turned the table against PKNS. Raimi neatly chested down an inch-perfect cross from Amri Yahya to slot an equalizer in the 62nd minute. 7 minutes later, he scored his second of the night, poking home a low cross which put Selangor in front with the lead. Selangor played a better game in the second half, having better possession of the ball and creating more attempts on target. Their improved gameplay gave fewer chances to PKNS, who could not produce a better result. The match ended with a 2-1 victory for Selangor. Selangor is 4 points short from Lions 12, which is the leading team in the standings.
And finally, world number 3 Roger Federer clinched his maiden title of the season. Federer emerged victorious over Russia's Mikhail Yuzhny in the final of the Jerry Weber Open in Halle, Germany.
The 31-year-old Swiss won 6-7, 6-3, 6-4 to collect the 77th title of his career and a 6th at this tournament. Nevertheless, the victory was less straightforward than Federer might have expected against an opponent he had beaten in all 14 of their previous meetings. Yuzhny held serve and matched Federer's skill on grass with hammering ground strokes. Federer won 3 break points in the first game, but Yuzhny's powerful serve put the Russian back on track. Federer saved a set point at 5-6, but conceded another in a tie-break for the Russian to take the lead with a well-placed volley. The number 1 seed refused to buckle and finally got his first break when Yuzhny double faulted for 5-3 before he served out the second set. Federer finally started finding his range when Yuzhny double faulted at break point in the 8th game, which proved to be the turning point of the match. The Swiss hit a perfect backhand passing shot to go up 4-3 in the third, then held for 5-3 with a smash and fired a service winner to seal his victory after 2 hours and 2 minutes. Federer, who finished with 12 aces, said his serve had kept him in the match. This victory ended his title drought since August 2012.
Before we end the news, here's a recap of tonight's headlines.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak celebrates youth at the Putrajaya Youth Festival, while opposition leaders thank voters at Dataran Petaling Jaya. And in Jinjiang, a vast crowd of people in demand for the freedom of student activist Adam Adli.
With that, we'll conclude tonight's Sky TV News with a live fireworks show of the Putrajaya Youth Festival's closing ceremony. Thanks for watching and have a good weekend.